Hey, what's up, guys? It's C-Stacks here, and welcome back to another full Genesis format match. This is another pre-March point update match, so sorry about that. I know people are probably wanting to see new format stuff. I still have several pre-point update matches in the tank, including a bunch of stuff from our Genesis point celebration that we had at No Limit Gaming. So I'm going to try to get those out over the next few days so that we can keep on moving along into new format stuff. But in the meantime, let's take a look at a couple of pre-point update matches. This is me here on the left playing on the YuGiOh mat with the obelisk blue sleeves. So I will try not to spoil much of how this match goes, although I admittedly don't remember it very well. This was almost a week ago by this point. Let's see. I believe I won the dice roll, so I'm going to start off here with a normal summoning Buzzsaw Shark. I'm going to go Abyss Shark first before the Buzzsaw effect in case they have something like a Ghost Ogre. So Abyss Shark is going to let us summon it from our hand if we control only waters, and then search for a fish monster, level 3, 4, or 5. So I'm going to grab the Xyz Remora here. I have a lot of monsters in my hand, so I'm going to aim to do an Xyz Remora play where I get a lot of material on board to be able to go in something like a Shark Drake. This is where I'm going Buzzsaw Shark here to, and I think I summoned the wrong thing here based on the Xyz Remora play I'm aiming for, but we'll see. So Buzzsaw Shark, of course, can target a monster I control, a fish monster, and summon a fish from the deck with the same level, but it cannot activate its effects this turn. So we're going to go Drake Shark here, which can be 2 material for a summon. This definitely should have been Vice Shark that I summon here from my deck. It'll become really clear once I resolve the Xyz Remora here in a second. Now, I could have done an anti-Nibiru line here. I was pretty sure my opponent was playing Heroes based on what I saw during the previous round, and I foolishly thought that Heroes have so many points in their engine that I didn't have to worry about Nibiru at all. That was stupid. Don't think that way. In hindsight, unless they're on exactly Dark Law, which is 70 points, and I think Fusion Destiny is like 33 points or something like that, but there's really not a whole lot of points among the hero things, especially amongst all the new cards and things. Sorry, my dog is in the chair right next to me. But I definitely could have easily gotten nibbed at any point. So we go down an Xyz armor line here. Fortress lets us detach 2 materials to get 2 Xyz armor cards, so I get the Reincarnation Unveiling Mail and the Full Armor Xyz. And then finally, by playing the Reincarnation Unveiling Mail, we have activated a spell card this turn, and we can finally special summon the Surfacing Big Jaws that is in our hand, which gets us into our Hydrojet Shark. Now we're going to make our boss monster, the Stealth Kraken, and I think now is when we're going to consider going for the Xyz Remora. I think I reconsider here and choose to not take both the material off my Kraken, and my opponent is gracious enough to allow me that minor take back. This is where it becomes super clear that this should have been a Vice Shark. So I go Xyz Remora, detaching 2 material and bringing back 2 monsters from grave. Now this Drake Shark is kind of doing nothing. Both of these monsters that I summon off Xyz Remora have their effects negated, so I can't count the Drake Shark as 2 material. I have to go for a triple overlay here if I want to make the Drake Shark, which is just a big idiot right now. If I had summoned the Vice Shark instead of the Drake Shark earlier, this would be a spell trap negate. So just imagine how good this board would be if I had made a spell trap negate. So just going to keep on extending here now that we're pretty sure our opponent doesn't have nib, or we probably would have got nibbed already. If we get nibbed at the end of this, we'll really, really hate ourselves. Going Hydrojet Shark to dump the Xyz Revive Splash. Sort of an awkward Xyz Revive Splash here, since we're not ranking up into anything immediately like a Caesar or something like we normally would. And then we're gonna extend with the Crystal Shark that was already in our hand. Our hand was just all gas apparently, into probably just a second Kraken. This is a really strong board because we have the full armored Xyz to be able to go into Shark Drake Levice, which is a monster negate. And if we'd played this correctly, we would have had a spell Trap negate in addition to that on our Shark Drake here, and we would be able to get a double spell Trap negate or a spell Trap negate and a monster negate by ranking up. So unfortunately, our opponent draws a Molcharmi Fuelos for turn, which would have been really good if they had it last turn. We're just going to chain the full armored Xyz in response to the Fuelos and go ahead and get our Shark Drake Levice out now without letting them get the draw. So of course we have to discard this spell card here, but we don't mind discarding the Reincarnation Unveiling Mail because we can always just get it back later with our full armored Dark Knight Lancer. So our opponent is going to, of course, reveal that they're on heroes, activating the emergency call. We're feeling pretty good. We have a monster negate. We have 2 monster pops with our Stealth Kraken, which is also turning everything water. And then we have a non-targeting take as material with our full armored Dark Knight Lancer. Actually searching for the Neos here, which is really cool to see that he's on Neos cards. So I haven't really seen many people try heroes in Genesis format, but they did just get several new pieces of support in Maze of Muertos. We're going to go the Adusted Gold here to get, I think, a card that mentions Dark Fusion. So we're going to get one of the newer Dark Fusion support cards. I think this is maybe Dark Contact. So we're going to normal summon Stratos, and I imagine I'm just going to go ahead and use my negate on this. I know he has a Neos in his hand and a Dark Contact card. So we're going to detach the Xyz Remora to negate Elemental Hero Stratos and permanently turn its attack to 0 with our Shark Drake Levice. Just reminding my opponent here that his monster is water, which I think is going to become relevant very shortly. So here comes Miracle Fusion to perform a fusion summon of a hero by banishing materials from field or grave. And here's going to come a Time Wizard format classic, an Elemental Hero Absolute Zero, because the Stratos is a water monster. And this is gaining 500 for every other water monster. So this is a 4,500 attack Absolute Zero. And if I kill it, it's going to nuke my board. So instead, what I do here is I'm going to use my full armored Xyz to equip an Xyz monster from my field of grave to an Xyz monster I control. This will trigger my Batman to non-targeting attach its material. Which is really strong against Absolute Zero here because, as we are about to discuss, and I'm giving Absolute Zero a read right now, it will not trigger the Absolute Zero's destruction effect. When Absolute Zero leaves the field, it would normally destroy all monsters your opponent controls, but unless we played this incorrectly, and I think we played it correctly, taking a monster as material does not count as it leaving the field. So I avoided having to destroy all my monsters here. And then my opponent's just going to pass over, and now we're basically just going to head into battle phase and attack for a gazillion. So there's game 1, and we're going to head into game 2. All right, so here we are with game 2. Heroes going first this time. And my hand is looks like all engine, 4 shark cards and an Aquajet Surface, which is basically just a reborn spell. Starting off with a Dusted Gold to go get a Dark Fusion card. And I believe this is one of the newer hero support cards. This is Evil Assault, which is a search spell for evil heroes. Evil hero is kind of the forgotten hero archetype that never really got a lot of love. Recently gotten support a few times. So we're going to activate the Evil Assault to discard a card and add our special and evil hero. And another newer piece of support, I believe this is Dead End Prison. So that's going to let him send from deck to grave Shadow Mist. It's a classic hero card to add one of the newer masked heroes, one of the main deck masked heroes, which I believe this one was actually a normal monster in the manga. So shout out to hero players getting a bit of a buff with these new main deck masked heroes. So I believe this is an extender. Banishing a hero from grave to summon him from hand. And then I believe he can search for a masked hero. So this is going to get the masked hero Furnace, the fire masked hero, the Iron Man masked hero, which I believe is a searcher for mask change or polymerization, which is pretty strong. So we're going to use Furnace here to add the polymerization. Ooh, classic artwork. I love that artwork of polymerization. And then I think we have to send a card from hand to grave then. Ooh, sending the new Karibo Ubel, the fiend Karibo thing that when it's sent, it's going to add another polymerization. So he's going to have 2 polymerization in his hand here. Polymerization, not a bad card in Genesys format at all. So here we go. A polymerization activation here is going to fuse the Furnace in hand with the other mask hero on field to summon Chaos Hero Contrast, a card that was actually printed more than 10 years ago, I believe, but is finally about to see his day in the sun, hopefully, because we now have main decked masked heroes that we can use to summon this guy. So he is basically an Omni Negate. He's a once per turn, target a face up card and negate it, I believe. Very similar to the Cool Tune RS that we saw last turn. It's targeted face up negation, I believe. A normal summon here on Elemental Hero Prisma. Crazy that we have not normal summoned yet. So let's see. He's revealing to me the new Neo Shining Flare Wingman. I think that's what it's. I don't know exactly what it's called. It's the Power of the Elements cover card. So it's going to send Elemental Hero Neos to the grave to take the name, and then we're going to activate our second copy of Polymerization, fusing 2 more monsters to make the recent Flame Wingman retrain, which I believe sort of lets you tribute to tag it out for another fusion. But first, he's going to add a favorite card on summon, adding favorite contact. Probably going to need to read this. So this is basically, I think it's just a quick effect fusion card. So I'm going to give the Flaming Wingman a read here. It contribute to tag out for another hero, and for a while here on my turn, I think I probably think that this is a quick effect. I think I'm playing around it a little more than I need to. But it is not a quick effect. So passing here on the one negate with the contrast hero and the set favorite contact. So I draw for turn here, and it looks like I picked up a Cosmic Cyclone, so we can force him to use this favorite contact right now. Alright, so we're going to force out the favorite contact, which I believe lets him shuffle material back to perform a fusion summon. Much like a contact fusion, hence the miracle, or favorite contact rather. So here comes out the second copy of the contrast hero chaos rather. So this is not a hard once per turn. So now he has two face-up targeted negates here. I will say one of the things I really like about the Shark deck is that it can play through a board pretty well with Engine. So I'm probably just going to start playing into the board here and seeing how far I can get. See which negates I can bait out, especially because it doesn't negate and destroy. The contrast hero is just a target face-up card negate. So we're going to summon the Surfacing Big Jaws because we activated a spell this turn, and then search for a shark. He lets that resolve. Does not negate the Surfacing Big Jaws to search. So we're going to get our Abyss Shark to hand. This card can't be negated, really, by the Contrast Hero, because this will activate in hand to summon and then search as all one effect. So we're going to go Abyss Shark to summon and search. That's going to resolve. We're going to go get probably like a Hydrojet Shark or something like that. Yep, there's the Hydrojet. So we can make a 4 or a 5 here because both of our monsters have the ability to level modulate. So we're going to go number 101. Shout out to my ultimate rare, number 101, Silent Honor Arc. So we're really going to force out a negate here by attempting to take as material. So that is one negate spent. And again, it does not negate destroy, so we get to keep our monster on field, which is pretty relevant here because we can just turn this into like an Xyz Armor Fortress or something to keep our plays going. Okay, looks like we're normal summoning. We're going to go ahead and use our normal summon on a Vice Shark, attributing it for cost. That'll keep it from being negated by the Contrast Hero Chaos because it cannot target a face-up card if it's attributed itself for cost already. So we're going to go into Buzzsaw Shark, giving our opponent another chance to use a negate here. Using Buzzsaw Shark to target itself and summon from deck. Nope, letting it resolve. Doesn't super matter what I get here, but if we wanted to make like a Virtue Dragon or something, it would have to be a Surfacing Big Jaws, but I don't really see any need to. Probably just get like an Xyz Remora or a Vice Shark or something to go into a 4. Xyz Remora wouldn't be terrible. We're just going to go for the Vice Shark. It could end up as a material underneath a Shark Drake Levice if we go for an Xyz Revive Splash later, so probably just turning it into a Kragan here that will force out the other negate by threatening destruction. It is the Stealth Kragan. And there is the other negate. So both of the targeted negates are gone. I think by this point I probably know that the Flame Wingman is not a quick effect, so we're just aiming to find lethal through this board at this point. Turning the 101 into an Xyz Armor Fortress, detaching one to go get probably the Reincarnation Unveiling Mail to push for game at this point. Yep, there it is, the Reincarnation Unveiling Mail equip spell. This will let us either go up into Full Armor Dark Knight Lancer, equip, and then non-targeting attach, and then potentially use it as a quick effect Xyz summon in the battle phase to push for obscene amounts of damage. Sorry, there's my dog again, making some noise for the camera. Do you want to add? Is there something else you want to add, honey? No. Okay. All right. There's the Batman with the Reincarnation Unveiling Mail to non-targeting attach as material. We're going to take one of those contrast heroes. I must know now that the Flame Wingman is of no risk. Otherwise, I would have taken it. Summoning our Hydrojet Shark to send probably Xyz Revive Splash here. We now have a couple of ways to push through a ton of damage in the battle phase. The Xyz Revive Splash can rank up a water monster. The Reincarnation Mail will let us Xyz summon a water monster at quick speed. We're going to go Aquajet Surface to bring back Vice Shark just to make an additional rank 4 here. Making extra sure that we're pushing through damage. Stealth Kragan number 2 is going to push through some more effect damage here, clearing the contrast hero, and now this should definitely be game. Making big use of our double damage there from Abyss Shark by doubling 200 to 400, but it shouldn't matter because we're getting over for 13 here, plus all the effect damage we did earlier, plus we have the Xyz Revive Splash in our graveyard to rank up into a Levice for a lot of damage. So, man, I really love this Shark deck. When the Shark deck pops off, it really, really feels strong. Yeah, but shout out to this hero player. This hero deck was really cool opening board. That second game with the double contrast hero, with the double negate, and all the new mass hero support, I think really makes this hero deck a potential force to be reckoned with. So hopefully people will keep experimenting with hero. I know it's a big fan favorite. Anyway, we'll see you in the next round.